How we doing today, guys? It's Jesse with the Common Man Corpus Christi, bringing you news and politics through a common sense lens. And we have some very exciting news for all of you big Trump supporters out there, for those of you that miss the mean tweets, for those of you that wish he was back on saying snarky things and smashing down the media and just being an absolute troll all over the internet and saying really dumb things at the same times that later we have to go back and correct and go, Either way, it was a good time. It made Twitter very entertaining. It was a lot of fun. And it looks like as soon as Elon Musk is done acquiring the company, he will reverse Trump's ban. So we're going to get into this from Disclosed TV. I saw this on Twitter earlier, and I figured we'd do a little bit of video about it because I think a lot of you, even if you're not a Twitter user, would be very excited to see him back on the platform, spewing everything that he can possibly think of that can come out of his mouth. So before we get into this and check out the video with Elon Musk and the interview that all of this was pulled from, if you do enjoy my content, please hit that like button, share it with all your friends, and subscribe because it literally costs you nothing but just a little bit of your time, and it really does help the channel grow out. So let's get into this. So this is Disclosed TV over on Twitter. I highly recommend, especially now with Elon taking over. I know a lot of people were very anti-Twitter. I highly recommend you create an account because I think things are only going to get better, and it really is the best place for latest and breaking news, and that is where the majority of the world's ideas, and at least the United States' ideas, are discussed and thought about and sometimes brought to fruition. You can see all the craziness going on in the world. Y'all need to get on Twitter to help us fight back, okay? So, from Disclosed TV, Elon Musk said he would reverse Trump's suspicions from Twitter, adds that the ban was morally wrong and flat out stupid. All right, so we're going to check out this article, or this little video here. This looks like a little interview from FTV Live.
Are you planning to let Donald Trump back on?
Well,
wait for it. I'm going to pause. I didn't think they were going to jump right into it right there. So we're going to pause that for just a second, hold off some of the stuff, and let's find out his explanation of why and how. And obviously, we already know he's going to say yes. So here we go. We'll go ahead and start this right back over at the beginning because all he did was ask a question. So check this out.
Are you planning to let Donald Trump back on?
well, I think there's a general question of does Twitter have permanent bans? And you know, I've talked with Jack Dorsey about this, and he and I are of the same mind, which is that permanent bans should be extremely rare and really reserved for people where they're trying to for accounts that are bots or spam scam accounts.
Which, once again, this talks about what he's already talked about a lot in the past, about wanting him to get rid of the bots, get rid of the spammers. I don't know, maybe people that are actually causing for legitimate threats of violence against other people. Maybe those are the kind of people that should actually be permanent banned. I don't know, maybe people actually violating U.S. law and not just opinions you don't like. That's probably a good idea. See, this is one of the things, this is why I really like, I think, the way Twitter is going to go with Elon in charge. Now, it's going to be a few months, but I do like this. I do like the direction things are changing here.
Where there's just no legitimacy to the account at all. I do think that it was not correct to ban Donald Trump. I think that was a mistake.
Of course it was a mistake. You literally banned a sitting president of the United States. I don't care if he lost the election. I don't care if he was on his way out. I don't care, okay? He is still, especially when you have the leader of Iran, who is literally calling for the death of Jews in Israel and for it to be wiped off the planet, you literally allow them to be on there, but because you didn't like some of the things Trump said. It's pure censorship, and I think this is the nice part about, once again, Elon taking over Twitter now. We're actually going to get some free speech back in the world.
Because it alienated a large part of the country and did
not
ultimately result in Donald Trump not having a voice. He is now going to be on Truth Social, as will a large part of the sort of the right in the United States. And so I think this could end up being, frankly, worse than having a single forum where everyone can debate.
Exactly. He's talking about the echo chamber. That's the problem when you kick people out of the public square, which I don't care what you want to believe or not, or how you feel about censorship. The internet is the public square now, and you should not be kicked out of it because that's where everybody goes and talks about things nowadays. And If you do that, if you push them to places like Truth Social or Gab or anywhere else, you literally create an echo chamber. I'm on the majority, I think I'm on every single other platform out there that's an alternative, at least all the ones I know about. A lot of them are echo chambers. It's the truth. I love going on there, like talking to people. I've got friends on there that I chit chat with and stuff like that. You know, people that we comment back and forth on each other's posts. But it's one of those things. It is an echo chamber, and that's the problem. If you're trying to stop radicalization, the more you force people into an echo chamber, the worse it's going to get. Look at what Twitter has turned into without having a bunch of conservatives on there. It's literally become a cesspool. Now it's finally starting to get better, but a lot of us stayed because we figured out how to get past the rules and the censorship, and we kept fighting. And that's the thing. We can't give up ground. Get on and get back on Twitter.
I guess the answer is that I would reverse the perma ban. Obviously, I don't own Twitter yet, so this is not like a thing that will definitely happen, because what if I don't own Twitter? But my opinion, and Jack Dorsey, I want to be clear, shares this opinion, is that we should not have perma bans. Now that doesn't mean that somebody gets to say whatever they want to say. If they say something that is illegal or otherwise, just destructive to the world, then that there should be perhaps a timeout, a temporary suspension, or that particular tweet should be made invisible or have very limited traction.
And honestly, the timeout system, I really like the idea of that, because what do we do with criminals in the real world, right? What do we do? If they've been bad, they broke the law, they did something wrong, what do? We lock them up for a while. I mean, essentially, that's a timeout. It's a timeout from the rest of society, so you can think about what you've done and hopefully correct your behavior and come back and not be an asshole again. Like, I don't see a problem with that. Permabans are an issue because now you're silencing someone forever. I'm waiting for somebody to ask when he's going to bring Alex Jones back, because that's what I really want to know, because that made Twitter interesting.
But I think permabans just fundamentally undermine trust in Twitter as a town square where everyone can voice their opinion. It was I think it was a morally bad decision, to be clear, and foolish in the extreme.
Even after he egged on the crowd who went to the US Capitol, some of them carrying nooses.
That's an absolute lie. Trump never encouraged violence in any way, shape, or form, and this is what I hate about the access media, this is what I hate about the legacy media. These guys are despicable and will just make shit up on the spot because there's not anybody there to question them and push back, which is why channels like this exist, which is why my Common Nerd channel exists. Go subscribe if you're not already over there. Do a lot of pop culture and stuff that's also anti-woke, just like on this channel. But that's exactly why other media organizations are popping up. That's why Timcast exists. That's why The Blaze exists. That's why The Daily Wire exists. That's why Just the News exists. That's why the Epoch Times exists. That's why the Post Millennial exists, because we have to hold these people accountable and push back. This ain't the world anymore to where they can just say whatever they want and everybody believes it and nobody challenges anymore. We are here to push back.
You still think it was a mistake to remove him?
I think if there are tweets that are wrong, they should, and bad, those should be either deleted or made invisible. And a suspension, a temporary suspension is appropriate, but not a permanent ban.
So if the deal completes, he might potentially come back on, but with the understanding that if he does something similar again, he'll be back in the sin bin.
He has publicly stated that he will not be coming back to Twitter.
Yep, he did.
And that he will only be on Truth Social. And this is the point that I'm trying to make, which is perhaps not getting across, is that banning Trump from Twitter didn't end Trump's voice. It will amplify it among the right. And this is why it is morally wrong and flat out stupid.
Hell yeah. Perfect. Excellent. See, I agree with him. It's morally wrong and it's absolutely stupid for them. It was absolutely stupid from the very beginning for them to ban Trump. Like the outrageousness of it alone, the fact that you have a sitting president of the United States that is silenced off one of the most major, and whether you like it or not, influential platforms out there. Okay. Things get decided on Twitter. People make or break their careers on Twitter. Okay. policy decisions get argued and debated about on Twitter. Whether you like it or not, it is the main town square for either the media, for Hollywood, for our politicians. Like, these guys tweet up a storm. Our local city here in Corpus Christi tweets out everything you could ever possibly need to know about what's going on with the city. Whether it be what's going on with the city council, new programs, new systems, whatever. They literally tweet about all of it. It is the best source for information for breaking news, and I'm glad to see that free speech is coming back for it. Whether Trump comes back, we'll just have to wait for Truth Social to bust, because that's honestly exactly what's going to happen. If Twitter really does become another comes back to being a more traditional free speech internet kind of platform like it was 10 years ago, then everybody's going to flock back and Truth Social is going to bomb, because it's an echo chamber. It's not going to be worthwhile. It's going to go bankrupt because everybody wants to be where they can engage with people of different opinions and not just to listen to the same people repeat the same lines that we've all heard 5 million times. All right. That's why I like Twitter. You can go on there and engage in thought-provoking battles with other people in a peaceful way. And if you don't like it, if anybody gets nasty, if anybody gets testy, you just block them. It's really, really that simple. And so I hope to see all of this come back. I know everybody's going to be excited about Trump coming back. It will happen eventually. He's not going to be able to stay away. It's just going to take Truth Social going bankrupt. So we'll see what happens. It's only a matter of time, but I really am excited to see that Elon is pushing for a more reasonable approach to people getting in trouble on Twitter. No more permabans, suspensions, which I think are perfectly okay. It's just like how our legal system operates as well. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. That is my common sense take on everything that is going on with Elon Musk and Twitter as of right now. If you do enjoy my content, hit that like button, share it with all your friends, and subscribe if you are not already, because it costs you absolutely nothing and it really helps my channel out. As always, this is Jesse with the Common Man Corpus Christi, bringing you news and politics through a common sense lens. Thanks for watching.